Aston Martin Vanquish S 2017 review. Aston Martin is in the midst of an important transformation phase as it chases both new buyers and renewed credibility in the competitive sports car market. However, the iconic British firm hasn't forgotten the building blocks which helped to achieve its current status and is giving a new lease of life to the naturally aspirated V12 engine. So, while the new Vanquish S may be outdated in some ways, the Stone King power plant keeps it as charming and young as ever. Spring clean out with the old, in with the new when it comes to model reshuffles. Aston Martin has been prolific in the past couple of years. In recent times, the British manufacturer has given us the new DB11, the Insane Vulcan, and the DBX crossover, and is now rumored to be working on a Ferrari 488 rival. Amid all this product activity, Aston has sounded a final curtain call for the aging Vanquish, a model first conceived in the form of the DB9 in 2003, which is scheduled to be replaced by a successor in 2019. The Grand Tourer has been restyled, renamed, and remarketed a few times, but the newly conceived Vanquish S essentially takes stock of the same aluminium-intensive architecture, front-engine layout, and iconic styling first wrought by Ian Callum and Danish designer Henrik Fisker. In Australia, the Aston Martin Vanquish S is priced at a considerable $489,950, plus on-road costs, which is around $100,000 more than the newer DB11. External changes to the S include carbon fiber aerodynamic extensions at the front and rear, including elements designed to reduce front lift and improve high-speed stability. The new S variant also brings the aforementioned evolution to the original DB9's 6.0-liter V12 naturally aspirated engine. Outputs have been pushed up to 444 kilowatts, plus 20 kilowatts, and 630 Nm in this last hurrah iteration, which includes a new exhaust system. In pursuit of sportier driving dynamics, the S also picks up stiffer springs, revised shock absorbers and a beefier anti-roll bar. A quick jaunt around Sydney Motorsport Park vigorously put those claims to the test. Old world charm stepping into the Vanquish S for the first time recalls many of the good and bad traits of interior design circa 2004. There is a decidedly last-generation feel to the cabin controls and styling, punctuated by a bulky center pop-up screen lacking the size and clarity of modern units, and a driver instrument cluster which is almost completely analog. It's all a noticeable throwback to simpler times, and a sharp contrast with the newer, more aesthetically pleasing DB11. Notwithstanding, there is still a decent assortment of modern technology embedded into this old interface. Apple CarPlay is handily available and, linked with the 6.5-inch pop-up screen, is a 1000-watt Bang & Olufsen stereo system. You also get a digital speedo. The dashboard center fascia is finished in a brushed carbon fiber decor embedded with the drive controls, affording the cabin a certain English workmanship charm. It's a shame the plastic fantastic steering wheel and its dorky button arrangement didn't get the same memo. Spatial proportions are generous up front, complemented by supple cabin materials and seats, which don't reside sufficiently low in the cabin, but are broad and supportive. Behind, headroom and legroom is spectacularly lacking, so the two rear seats are virtually an upholstered space for overnight bags, not passengers. We didn't even attempt to get cozy in the back. Likewise, the narrow and short boot proportions are good for an overnight stay, but not much more. Incidental storage is generally strong, comprising a center console, cup holder, and open cubby. The door pockets handle odds and ends but are not bottle-friendly. Outward vision in the Vanquish S is strong front and rear, supporting the car's Grand Tourer brief. Road and track starting the big V12 is done by Aston's glass emotion key, which slots neatly into a space in the dashboard. It invokes the unmistakable V12 soundtrack, surely one of the rawest, chest-thumping barks of any Grand Tourer or supercar. Be it on country roads or a racetrack, the engine is the undoubted highlight of the Vanquish S. It builds revs smoothly and flexibly, invoking plenty of induction noise and a deep-throated gargle as the 8-speed automatic transmission gently segues through the ratios. In the Vanquish S, these traits are bolstered thanks to a revised intake system with larger inlet manifolds which sends more air to the engine than before. Throttle response is surprisingly linear from a standstill, creating effortless and accessible around-town surge everywhere in the rev range. On bumpy country roads, the big Aston builds speed at a scary rate. Stretching out the long legs of the engine in gears 3 or higher is more than enough ammunition to land you in a jail cell. Similarly brutish is the car's brilliant soundtrack, which erupts in a cacophony of snarls, cracks, and bangs as you climb towards the 7,000 RPM power peak. Apparently the Vanquish S dishes out up to 9.4 dB of noise at full tilt. There is a complementary theme to the engine on the race circuit, where it is equally at home during full tilt blasts. No, the Atmo V12 won't forcefully shove your bonds backwards into the head restraint like a turbocharged engine, but work with the rev count and the gas pedal, and the forward progress is unquestionably rapid. We didn't perform timed 0 to 100 km/h testing, but a seat of the pants impression implies you would need a special set of circumstances to emulate Aston's 3.5-second claim for the Vanquish S. As for its 323 km/h speed ceiling, you'll just need a big road and plenty of ticker. A composed and controlled ride, if a little fidgety on pockmarked surfaces, is a strong virtue of the Aston on public blacktop. However, reinforcing its Grand Tourer brief, the car's dynamic traits unravel a little when pushed to the limit at Sydney Motorsport Park. For one, the car's stability control system feels intrusive even in sports mode on track, taking away big slabs of power at the earliest sign of oversteer rather than allowing measured levels of wheel spin. Also, the accompanying 8-speed transmission's torque converter feels a little outpaced by the engine, offering delayed shifts between its closely stacked ratios, along with a prominent thud in the back on upshifts. The engine's placement over the front axle is a constant consideration when flinging the Vanquish S into the race circuit's corners, dulling the car's agility. In faster turns, the Vanquish S body bobs and fidgets as its 1,750 kg mass shifts to the outside Pirelli P0 rubber. However, hydraulic steering does a nice job of linking the Aston through Sydney Motorsport Park's various turns. The car reacts positively to driver inputs, with ample speed and precision as well as adequate feel. A smidgen of mid-corner kickback is about the only letdown in the steering department, but it can also be said that this adds to the vehicle's driver involvement. Does the Vanquish S belong in the new Aston Guard? The Aston Martin Vanquish will reportedly be replaced by a new model in 2019. Until then, this Atmo V12 juggernaut needs to stay on sale and sell. Does the Vanquish S meet its brief? Given we're in an age of tightening emissions and downsized, turbocharged engines, the Vanquish SH and engine are central to its appeal. In some respects, it pales against the newer, cheaper DB11, but in others, unlike any other model in the marque's current lineup, the S invokes that quintessential Aston Martin heritage.